We really hoped for an open and direct opportunity to be able to share what it would mean for the mayor-elect to achieve the affordability agenda, and we were welcomed into that conversation. And we were very heartened at the ability for us to talk about all of the costs that are driving New Yorkers out of the city.
Mm-hmm. And you were one of the first.
The premise of the campaign was always that New Yorkers are struggling, their lives are too hard, and if we articulated that clearly and we kept to that message the whole campaign, it would resonate outwards. And I think we've seen today that actually the president too understands that New York City is a special place, a place where we can try to make New Yorkers be able to live there, and that he is willing to join us in that. We talked about the need to build housing, to have a safe city, to have utility costs driven down, and many other ways where we can find commonality for working New Yorkers to stay in their city.
Now, walk me through the preparation for this. I mean, of course, one of the criticisms was that this is a very young campaign. Zohran Mamdani is in his 30s, and that he might not have a lot of experience. But both yourself and others that have been appointed to the transition team do bring experience, frankly, from city government to now this incoming administration. What was the pitch that you guys were working on leading up to this meeting?
We had a wide variety of conversations, some of which have already been reported, but with various Democratic leaders in Congress and others around the city to really seek their advice in thinking about how to walk in. And we also just knew that, again, at the end of the day, we have been laser focused on the cost of living, and that we could find, hopefully, common ground with the president and really speak to our intentions for how we plan to govern the city. So we walked in disciplined with all of the key points that we wanted to make sure to cover, and I think that it was productive.
Now let's recap some of the things that Mamdani and President Trump ticked off as discussion points, crime being number one. Do you think, and was there discussion that Trump will not be sending in federal troops to New York City come January 1st?
We discussed that we share a mutual goal of having a safe city where everyone can move around in comfort and ease. This is one of the reasons this week we have been so happy to be appointing Commissioner Jessica Tisch. We talked about her appointment and really how she has been keeping crime low, and that is exactly what we intend to do. And I think that that was very heartening to hear, and all that we plan to keep doing.
Right, and also leading up to this meeting, the threat of increased ICE presence on city streets. The president and the mayor-elect also discussed this within the question and answer, but how do you think that will go, I suppose, considering there have been many criticisms out of the mayor-elect's mouth over the way that ICE enforcement has been handled on the city streets?
We certainly were clear about our disagreements in the room, and the mayor-elect made clear that we uphold sanctuary laws in our city and all immigrants will be safe in our city. We also made very clear that we feel there have been inhumane raids just this week. So it will be a future conversation with the president, but we again grounded in an overall desire and the acknowledgement that our sanctuary city laws allow cooperation in extreme violent felony cases. And that is something where I think we have alignment.
Now, sometimes dignitaries will bring the president a gift or something. Did you guys end up bringing anything from New York to the president before this meeting?
We did not bring anything from New York.
I was just curious. You know, the president, he might be a Yankees, might be a Mets fan. And also in preparation for this, did Zohran Mamdani, was he worried, or were you worried that the president had called him a communist? Were you trying to prepare maybe talking points about explaining the differences between democratic socialism and communism?
We didn't get so far. We know that there have been labels thrown all around that are just simply not fair, and we kept it, again, at where we could find the agreement on making the city affordable.
And, you know, Democrats across the nation have been trying to get back in touch with voters. I mean, it was a key tenet of the Mamdani campaign, and he complimented the president saying, listen, you talked about affordability. I interviewed people on the streets of New York talking about why they voted for you, even if they might not have been a typical Democratic voter. Should Democrats in New York and across the nation maybe take a page from this book here? And do you think Mamdani will be a leading voice in the Democratic Party, you know, either starting today or just once the administration starts? What do you think of that looking forward?
I believe that the campaign showed that listening and meeting people where they are, focusing on